Title: The Wise Owl and the Curious Squirrel. Once upon a time, in a peaceful forest, there lived a wise old owl named Oliver and a curious young squirrel named Sammy. Oliver was known throughout the forest for his wisdom and knowledge, while Sammy was always eager to learn new things. One bright morning, Sammy spotted Oliver perched on a branch, looking thoughtful. Sammy, being his curious self, couldn't resist asking, "Oliver, why are you always so wise? How did you become so knowledgeable?" Oliver blinked his wise eyes and replied, "Sammy, I became wise by being patient and by learning from my experiences. I've spent many years observing the world around me, listening to others, and seeking knowledge." Sammy was intrigued and wanted to be wise like Oliver. He asked, "Can you teach me how to become wise too?" Oliver smiled and agreed to be Sammy's mentor. He began by teaching Sammy to listen more than he talked, to ask questions when he didn't understand something, and to read and learn from books and nature. Months passed, and Sammy followed Oliver's advice diligently. He observed the seasons change, learned from the animals in the forest, and read books about different subjects. Gradually, Sammy started to gain wisdom. One day, while exploring the forest, Sammy heard some birds singing about a delicious fruit hidden deep in the forest. He was excited and rushed back to tell Oliver about it. "Oliver, there's a fruit hidden deep in the forest, and the birds say it's the most delicious thing ever. Let's go find it together." Oliver, with his wisdom, cautioned Sammy. "Sammy, rushing after every exciting thing may not be wise. We should consider the journey, the risks, and the consequences before we go." But Sammy, in his eagerness, didn't listen. He ran off to find the fruit alone, leaving Oliver behind. Sammy ventured deep into the forest and eventually found the fruit tree. However, it was guarded by a big, fierce bear. Terrified, Sammy realized he had made a rash decision. He couldn't reach the fruit without facing danger. Panicking, he ran back to Oliver for help. Oliver, who had followed Sammy at a more measured pace, arrived just in time to help Sammy escape the bear. Sammy was shaken and realized his impatience had put him in grave danger. As they returned safely to their tree, Sammy said, "Oliver, I should have listened to your wisdom and thought before acting. I've learned that being patient and wise is important, and I'm lucky you were here to help me." Oliver smiled and said, "Sammy, wisdom comes from learning and making mistakes. I'm glad you've learned this valuable lesson today. Remember, wisdom takes time to grow, and it's always worth the wait." From that day forward, Sammy listened to Oliver's wisdom and continued his journey to become wiser. They both lived happily in the forest, sharing their knowledge with the other animals and living by the motto, "Patience and wisdom go hand in hand." Moral of the story: patience and wisdom are valuable traits. Rushing into things without thinking can lead to trouble, but with time and learning from experiences, you can become wise.